Hello, everybody. Welcome to the lecture series on market structure, pricing, and macroeconomic indicators. This particular video is about macroeconomics indicators, and I'm Shrutika, Assistant Professor at SNSP Spine. Through this video, I'll try to give you a fundamental introduction to the different macroeconomic indicators. We will discuss the indicators in detail in the forthcoming videos. So, macroeconomic indicators are statistical measures that provide insights into the performance, structure, and direction of an economy. So, macroeconomic indicators are the statistical measures through which we can understand how efficient the economy is functioning. We'll be able to understand whether the economy is traveling in the right direction. So, the purpose of macroeconomic indicators is to help policymakers, businesses, and analysts make informed decisions. So the key categories of macroeconomic indicators are output indicators, employment indicators, inflation indicators, fiscal indicators, monetary indicators, etc. The first and the foremost macroeconomic indicator is gross domestic product or GDP. So GDP is the total market value of all the goods and services which are produced within a country in a given period. So how many goods and services are produced? So what is the total quantity of goods and services that are produced in a country within a given period is GDP. There are several types of GDP. One is nominal GDP, which is measured at current prices. Two is real GDP, which is generally adjusted for inflation. Three is GDP per capita, which is GDP divided by the total population of the country. So comparing GDP between developed and developing countries is one good aspect of identifying how successful the economy is functioning. The second macroeconomic indicator is inflation rate. That is the rate at which the general price level of goods and services rises, reducing the purchasing power. So what is the rate at which the price of commodities increases? In general, when price increases, we believe the purchasing power of consumers decreases. So the measurements of inflation rates can be in the way of consumer price index, producer price index, etc. The implications of inflation rate are moderate inflation generally promotes growth. Hyperinflation would always disrupt the overall economic growth of the country. The next indicator is unemployment rate, which is the percentage of the labor force that is jobless but are actively seeking employment. The percentage of workforce which actually wants a job but are not able to find a job. So there are several types of unemployment rates like frictional unemployment, structural unemployment, cyclical unemployment, etc. The higher the unemployment rate is indicative of underutilization of resources. The higher the unemployment rate in a country, it is indicative that the country is very much underutilizing the existing resources. The next indicator is balance of trade, which is the difference between a country's exports and imports. So what is the cumulative difference between the exports and imports of a country? Balance of trade gives us an indication about surplus and deficit. A country is said to operate at trade surplus when exports are greater than imports. Whereas the country is said to operate a trade deficit when imports are greater than exports. So when a country is importing more than it is exporting, then it's said to be in a deficit. While it's exporting more than it's importing, it is said to be in surplus. So balance of trade is of great importance in determining the currency value and economic stability of the country. The next indicator is interest rate, which is the cost of borrowing money or the return on savings, how much we get back on saving or how much we spend on borrowing money. So the interest rates are generally controlled by central banks like the Federal Reserve, Reserve Bank of India, etc. Interest rate has a significant impact on the economy. Higher the interest rate, lesser would be the spending power and investing power of the citizens. Lesser the interest rate, more would be the borrowing power and economic activity of the overall country. The next is exchange rate, which is the value of one currency compared to another. Exchange rates are of two major types, fixed exchange rates and floating exchange rates. So exchange rates have a significant impact on trade balance, inflation, and foreign investments. Example, depreciation of INR versus USD impacts Indian imports and exports. So when INR is less priced than USD, then it will have a significant impact on the import and export of the overall Indian economy. The next indicators are government fiscal indicators. which are the key indicators from government papers, like the budget deficit or surplus, difference between government spending and revenue, public debt, which is the total government borrowing that is there. So these government indicators give us several implications. Like when there are high deficits from the side of the government, it may lead to inflation. So it's very important that government operates its debt at a sustainable level so that the economy is stable at large. So in conclusion, macroeconomic indicators are essential for understanding and managing an economy. Monitoring these indicators helps predict trends, design policies, and make informed decisions. So I hope this video was helpful to you in understanding about the various macroeconomic indicators. I'll catch you soon with other videos which will give you detailed explanation into each of these indicators. Thanks for watching.